Alright, so I thought it over, and Season 3, Part 2 is my favorite of Attack on Titan so far. I really did love Season 2, and the mystery of everything, and just, I'm so confused, but I'm loving being lost in the confusion of Season 2. Season 3 happened, not a big fan of Part 1, felt too rushed. I will read the manga for that section eventually. I've been told it's handled much better, more character work, slowed down the pacing a little bit just so it didn't feel so rushed. But Part 1 left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth when I went right into Part 2. But now that I've set with it a bit, oh, yes, no, Part 2, getting the answers to so many of these mysteries that were set up throughout the series, absolutely fantastic. I just wasn't sure if I loved being lost in the confusion and how crazy everything could potentially be in the mysteries of Season 2, or if I liked getting those answers and having those reveals. Apparently I liked how crazy they were. They went there, and I'm happy. I'm very happy with where Season 3 went, and it still leaves a lot of opportunities. We're at the point now where the mysteries of the world have pretty much, as far as I know, been revealed to us, and now it's just going to be the characters that we've come to love dealing with the information that they now have and new threats. So I'm very excited to see where the stories goes, but it's going to be a little bit of a shift. I don't know if it's going to be a shift into action. I don't know if it'll be more theological. I don't know if it's going to be just straight action. I don't know. But it's not going to be the same mystery tone as we're unraveling the world's secrets. So a lot of people love Season 4, but I also know a lot of people were disappointed with the ending, so I'm very excited to see how I feel about it. For Part 2, it had some of the... We're in spoiler-free section right here, so hold on a second. It had probably one of the most emotional moments for me. It had my favorite fight scene. The opening couple episodes of Season 3 Part 2, definitely my favorite. And then that reveal at the end, and the beauty of this animation, absolute delight. It almost made me like Erwin for like half a second. That's an accomplishment right there. Made me love ARMIN even more than I already did. I already love Historia, and she's still wonderful. I can't wait to see what happens with her in the next season. But that's all I got for spoiler-free, because I want to talk spoilers. So real quick, we're going over my thoughts throughout the series, and it's more plot-by-plot breakdown of what's happening as I'm watching it, and then the reveal. Levi just stabbed Reiner in the neck. Yes. Okay, a lot has happened. We are in the wall. They let a Titan live. I think that's a bad mistake. I don't care that it wasn't acting in the middle of the night. It was quiet. They should have killed it. For all we know, it's going to come back and kill somebody. They're talking about moonless nights because Titans are less active. I can't remember if the last attack with the castle was a moonless night or a full moon. I can't remember. Reiner and Bert are apparently hiding in the walls, and ARMIN was the one who figured that out, so love them. I was convinced that they were going to plan an attack in terms of, I don't know, gas? Because, you know, warfare, the bad guys, gas, whatever. That seems like a reasonable assumption of what they're going to end up doing the plan, like just wipe them all out, but obviously they can't risk Erwin that way, so makes sense that they were hiding in the walls, planning a sneak attack. Sorry, battery died. I couldn't watch any more than that one episode anyway. But Reiner and Bert Reiner was stabbed in the neck after killing someone else. Levi, glorious. But it wasn't some of the Titan ability, even in their human form, he couldn't cut straight through, so Napalm affected, transform, and Beast Titan shows up, and then all of a sudden, like they're ready to fight, and then all of a sudden, all these lights everywhere. Titan after Titan after Titan. I was expecting something like this because one of the intros or outros, I forget which one, had like many Titans with animal kind of representation in the distance all charging. So I was expecting eventually more Titans to show up, but I wasn't exactly expecting a literal interpretation of that scene where it's just a zillion Titans everywhere. And I'm just like, great, they can't retreat. Beast Titan threw a rock, cut off their means of escape so they can't use the horses. It's about to get good. Or traumatizing. Or both. Popping in for just 1 second, because he's transformed, he's in the armored Titan form, and Levi's sword thing is still through his neck. And I don't know why I find that hilarious, but it is, and I love it. Alright, Erwin's getting his own monologue, and I like him. I'm starting not to trust him though. He's talking about how he's doing this for selfish reasons. He has his own dreams to achieve. There's a flashback of him as a kid. Was he in a I think yeah, he was definitely in a scouting uniform. Seeing someone get eaten by a titan who looks suspiciously like the one that's Historia's friend. And he's talking about, on my orders, a mountain of corpses. I haven't finished the monologue. I don't think he's a titan. Is it as simple as his dream is to prove his father right because he got his father killed and expose the mind control of the upper class and what the Titans represent? Did his father have a different, more to the secret that he told him? Leaning in towards like the first king, why they were so big on Titan supremacy. I don't know. I'm starting to not trust Erwin. What does he have a different ulterior motive besides freeing humanity? What is his dream specifically? And it had better be what we were led to believe of defeating Titans, free humanity. Fight with your entire heart. But he's saying he's lying to himself when he says that. Alright, so there is a very high possibility that Reiner is dead or about to die, unless Colossal Titan here, Bert, swoops in to save him. They have, thunder spears? Rockets that they throw and then pull the cord. Very long grenades, more than rockets. So loving that. It was able to break through the armor, and then we get the flashback of Marco's death. So he had overheard these two traitors talking in the open on the top of a roof about how they're Titans and how they work so hard to bust in the wall, and then they're just like, we were joking. Yeah, he knew we weren't joking. So then they have to go, and Annie is the one who comes upon them, and he's begging her for her help, and saying Reiner's acting crazy, you have to do something, but she just goes with what they said, and shocked horror look in her face, removes his gear, so they leave Marco to die via the Titans that were swarming them at the time when Aaron was bringing the boulder across. And then afterwards, Reiner kind of reverts back, the dual personalities going on, saying, why is Marco being eaten? And again, shocked. And I'm really I normally don't like that, split personality character archetype. It just feels a little, not really tropey, I don't know, convenient. It feels a little bit convenient for my sake, but I'm really liking how it's going on in this example. And it makes sense with the war and having all this death on their hands, but for whatever reason, these warrior people believe it's just evil race that they're fighting against prosecution, but they're also after Krista, who is a descendant of the first king. So I'm going with the first king is from the outside people's group. Maybe. We also get a name for the Beast Titan, Zeke. So definitely not Aaron's dad. I really thought I spoiled myself for that. I thought that Google had just colored his hair yellow in an image, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's Aaron's dad, but he's went through some trauma, and instead of getting the bleach white hair, he went with it ended up turning blonde. In my head, that made sense, okay? There are giant naked titans running around eating people, yet they don't need humans to survive. They don't need nutrition, okay? So to me, stress going from a brown hair to a blonde hair one made sense to me. But no, I don't know who Zeke is. I am going to go with he's related to Aaron's dad in some way, mostly because of the glasses, but also Erwin's dad, the teacher, also had glasses and was blonde. But that is not the most unique character trait in this world. But I'm scared to Google what Erwin's father's name was in case it was Zeke. So I'm going with related to either one of those two. If it is Aaron's dad, I can't do evil twin, so I'll just do evil little brother. Does this mean that Aaron's dad is dead? Because again, we did see him in Titan form steal the power, and then that power was transferred to Aaron, and it's heavily implied, basically said, that Aaron ate his father. I don't know if I believe it, but we'll see. So now we're into Reiner's area, because whether or not he's going to go be saved by Bert or not. So let's see what happens. So apparently the Colossal Titan, when he transforms, made a full-on mushroom cloud minus the radiation. for like almost nuclear explosion. There was a bunch of devastation. It wasn't that why, because they could still see him. They were kind of hiding behind a building a little while away. But they knew it would be a devastating impact, and they had to get away from it. But that didn't happen the last time he attacked the walls, the last 2 times he attacked the walls, and when he was on the wall and transformed. I'll give that one a pass, because it was a partial transformation, I'm pretty sure. But, like, why all of a sudden is the act of transforming so devastating with the Colossal Titan, and it hadn't been before, and they knew it would be devastating, and they had to make a run for it. And now we're assuming that Hange and her squad has been destroyed from that attack. First of all, no, for no body, no death. And second of all, they're not killing her off that way without showing it to us, unless we get in a flashback. But what's with this sudden transformation thing? I get mass times speed times force of gravity or something like that, and he's ginormous. But this did not happen before. I'm sorry for ever even having a second doubt of Erwin, because Levi had begged him to stay behind. But do not go on this mission. You should live. You're injured, you've lost an arm. Stay here. And he's like, no. And it's like, I will beat you. I will break both your legs. And he's still, no. There's nothing you could say to make me sit out this. He wants to see what's in that basement, to fulfill whatever dream he has and prove his father right or wrong, learn the truth of what has happened to the Titans, to humanity, everything. He wants to know the truth of this world. And he was even questioning whether or not he was putting that above humanity's survival as a whole. For humanity's survival, it would be best for him to survive with his mind and everything like that. But he put his selfish desire to see what's in that basement above even that. And now, the Beast Titan is throwing pieces of rocks like cannons at them. He's wiping everyone out. He's like, I got a plan, but the only way for it to work would be for me to lead these new recruits in basically a distraction, and I'm going to be the first one to die. And for the sake of their fallen comrades, for someone to get away, he has to give up on his dreams to get to the basement and die here, never knowing what is in that basement, never knowing the truth. And Levi's feeling this conviction in him. They're both talking about and remembering fallen soldiers and the hearts and soul and life that they gave to get them to this point. And now Levi is kneeling before him saying, I will give the order, give up on your dreams and die. Because that's such a Levi thing to say. I've definitely heard that quote before. And he's saying to lead the new recruits into hell. And I'm upset. I'm sorry I doubted Erwin for even half a second in where his loyalties is. I'm gonna hit play and see what happens. I'm starting to hate these to be continues. Technically, he's only hitting the side. Annie's friend's still alive. It's a tragedy how Kingry stole their memories of the world. So you know they don't know what's going on, and you're still trying to wipe them all out for a reason they know nothing about. Rude. And Annie's friends from military police is dead. Green smoke everywhere. Just noticing his Titans around are dead. Levi's gone Beyblade mode. I can't kill him yet. Why can't you kill him yet? Information. Cargo running on 4 legs Titan just got the Beast Titan and took him and ran. This isn't going to be for nothing. This isn't going to be for nothing. Levi will hunt them down. There's Titans he can swing across to get to that one. This is not going to have been for nothing. ARMIN is fine. He's fine. He's fine. I swear to God, if he's not fine, I'm not going to be fine. Yes, mate, Evan. No, I'm not. It's fine right now. Plan, take down Colossal Titan thing in the teeth, because the smoke comes from breaking down the muscles. He can't walk when he's producing that steam. And, ARMIN's trying to get him to use up all his energy by holding on there and just letting him expert all the steam, and he's getting torched. He's getting torched alive, and I'm not okay with that. And he's trusting in Aaron, who I am praying has broken out of his Titan form, but left the body there that's not decaying, breaking down yet, as a distraction to sneak around and in his gear go for the nape of the neck once all the muscle mass is gone away. Yes, I know I'm mad at my computer, but I need you to not hit my computer. I'm going to hit play, and if Erwin, if he does not survive this, I'm coming after somebody. Aaron's in his hardening form. Yes! Told you! Colossal's down, but this means nothing if Ermin's not okay. Ermin doesn't run. Fake. He switched himself out with a dead body that he found on the ground. No, not him. It's not him. That charred corpse is not him. Ermin gets the Titan serum. Ermin's gonna get the Titan serum that Levi got. I'm going with that. I don't like that, but I'll take it. These to be continueds are going to drive me crazy. Okay, Zeke and carrier luggage Titan is coming through, which means Levi is in pursuit, which means Ermin is going to get the Titan serum. I did not see this coming. I have my money banked on Potato Girl. You look nothing like your father. He knows his father. We're both victims of your father. You've been brainwashed by him. Of course! It's a double betrayal. He betrayed the royal family and gave the thing to Aaron. We think it's a noble sacrifice to free the people, but really, something else is going on. Yes, Levi! Kill him! Oh, Levi's pissed. Oh, Levi's tired. Aaron, someday I'm coming back to rescue you. Oh, how kind of you. Person on the top of my hit list right now. Armin is dying. Commander Erwin is dying. We have one syringe. Levi says he's using the injection on Erwin. Aaron's not having that. Can we get, like, half of the syringe to each? Maybe we'll get a small Titan? Please? I'm with Aaron. Erwin's done more for the scouts than anyone I've seen. Why do we need Erwin so much? I don't get what is he really that great? Do we really like him that much? I'm sorry I doubted Erwin for even half a second. I do like him. I like Armin more. He's been more useful than Erwin. I'm just saying. You know, I think I'm okay if Aaron and Mikasa just betray everyone inside the walls. That's you know what? That's fine. I think that's where we're going. That's fine. Let's go join the warriors. They probably would have saved. No, they're the reason that Armin's dying. I'm not happy with this either, Maven. Hange was saved by a magical well. Same way Indiana Jones was saved by that fridge. Erwin's gonna come to long enough to say, no, hope for the future, Armin will do what I can't, or something like that. They're gonna get to him. That's what's gonna happen, and it's all gonna be fine. Don't you give me flashbacks of him. He's going to be fine. Levi's gonna say goodbye to Erwin and gonna give it to Armin. That is what's going to happen. Why are you dragging this out? Because I know that's what's gonna happen. It's going to be fine. I mean, they both have blonde hair, but that looks a lot more like Armin than Erwin. Oh, right, he's not going to see Annie anymore. He'll never see her again. That's sad. I don't care. See, I'm sad because Erwin's gone, but I'm happy that Ermin's okay. That was a good scene. That was good. I'm sorry. What do you mean the key doesn't fit the lock for this door? In the basement. The place we were trying to get to this entire time? Do we have the wrong location or do we have the wrong key? Can someone beat down the door? Please. The key unlocked the desk drawer, which is empty. If there's not a false bottom in this drawer, I'm going to be upset. It's a false bottom. Okay, we're good. It better not be empty. Okay, we have things. I love that they don't know what certain technology is going to be, because they're like, is this a portrait? And it's like, no, it's far too detailed for anyone to have drawn this. It's a photograph. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, the armbands are a look. We have a blimp! There's a blimp! Well, Mom says we're not allowed to leave the walls. They're gonna go watch the airship. Cute. Why does Mom say you're not allowed to leave the walls? That naive day of my youth when I had to face the truth of this world. To be continued. These to be continueds are driving me crazy. And I can just hit next episode. An internment zone. They're from an internment zone? Let's see your exit permit. Oh god. They don't have one. He just punched a kid! They just wanted to see the airship, that's all. So he beats him up, but still gonna let him see the ship take off, but you couldn't let the sister stay too? Rude. The following day, my sister was found in the river. So the one who was nice enough to take her away so she didn't watch her brother get beaten and end up killing her? Are you kidding me? 1,820 years ago, our ancestor Ymir made a contract. So that's the name that was given to our Ymir, from the cult, that she kept the name. So our ancestor made a contract with the devil of all earth and obtained the powers of the Titans. So Greek mythology, I guess? After defeating the great nations of Marley, they ruled over the continent. Thus began the Dark Ages. The subject Emirs called the other races inferior and began to oppress them. That's not nice. They stole lands and fortunes and forced other races to bear their children to increase their numbers. Oh God, oh God. Oh, call it what it is. Their ethnic cleansing continued for some 1,700 more years. But the once great nation of Marley plotted to subvert Eldiaz and its arrogance from within. They brought 7 of the 9 Titans under their control, and were victorious in the Great Titan War 80 years ago. The Eldian king at the time erected 3 walls on the island of Paradise, which is where they said kids who take off their armbands go, and fled there with many of his people. Our ancestors were abandoned and left behind on this continent, but the gracious people of Marley let us live and stay on their land. Alright, I've just had so much information just poured into me, and I'm just like, okay, yes. And it's crazy, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense with everything that's been set up. To the point, I'm just like, I'm an idiot. How did I not realize this is what was happening? It makes so much sense. Because I'm like, the entire series, I'm wondering if there is another civilization somewhere. Who says these are the last remnants of humanity? Humanity is large. They're spread out across the globe. They don't know what a globe is. And I'm just like, there's probably a kingdom, a castle somewhere beyond some tree line, behind some hill that is just remnants of humanity. And they're on an island. They're on an island. So they have no idea where the end of humanity is. And this is like a dumping ground for Titans. So we have Diana, who was a member of the Fitz family, true royals, and the walls that we seen were, because people were getting kicked off the walls. And I'm just like, okay, where is this wall? Because I don't think this religious cult that Ymir was a part of could just be brought through the streets and turned into Titans and thrown off their walls without anyone seeing it. So it got to be different walls than the walls of our Titan-infested world. The harbor walls for the sea and the ocean where everyone wants to get to. Because when Ymir was like a god, and they were the original Titan, made a deal with the devil, supposedly. This is history told by the now oppressors of Ymir's people. And Ymir could only live 13 years for reasons that are not explained, or was killed after 13 years, and now the descendants refuse to live any longer, are cursed, cannot live any longer, something about 13 years. And it was broken up into the 9 Titan powers, or created 9 Titans. Titans that could keep their humanity and not just be free roaming range Titans that are eating people willy-nilly. So I was trying to count them all. I forgot about the female Titan and our cargo carrying Titan, I think. So Erwin is what is definitely the attack Titan that we've seen, but they're also like the coordinator / founder Titan, maybe? Can you be more than one Titan? Because I don't know. And the Armor Titan, Colossal Titan, Female Titan, I missed fingers. But anyway, Beast Titan and Carrying Titan and Ymir's Titan. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Titans that I know about. And the people, so Ymir had used the Titan power to take over the world. But then something happened, and the people that they were enslaving said, enough of this. They took over, took 7 of the 9 Titans' powers for themselves to fight back against them. And now Ymir's people are the ones in a wall, I'm just going to call it a concentration camp, where they are subjected to and brainwashed by this power that by people they had once oppressed, and saying, for your sins of your ancestors, you're now the lower class, and if you do anything wrong, we're going to send you to paradise, which is where the original king took the founder Titan, I think, and built the walls. And of course, don't think I mentioned this in any of the videos. I was thinking, how did they physically construct the walls? And if there were Titans around that they were, made the walls to protect themselves from, they're not just going to let you build that, which is why I thought there was an original civilization that they put walls up to protect against regular people, and then the Titans came later, because I was probably going into chemical warfare kind of thing, experimentation, mad scientist vibes. Did not think to go into possible gods. So the people that's name starts with an E, people that start with them, I'll learn the names in just a minute. They take some of their people that they're oppressing, brainwash them, and turn them into Titans, because only Ymir's ancestors can turn into Titan shifters. Supposedly, if this ends with, hey, even people that aren't their descendants can become Titan shifters because we are all one human race and no one group is better than the other, but our people of the ones who are now the oppressors that used to be oppressed didn't want to take the syringe of Titan thing because we thought we were better than everybody else and different. Only the seeds of the devil who could turn into these monsters. No, they're all the exact same. I believe that would be a good ending. But they need the Titan shifting power of the founder Titan who ran off to the wall, sort of betraying everybody in terms of, we refuse to fight in a war anymore. We done wrong in the past and we're going to end this now. So they're isolating themselves. And now the people who were the oppressed and now are the oppressors are going to get that back because armies are advancing modern day weapons and they need all the Titan power that they want. And also the original king had said, hey, if you come after us, we'll just unleash the Titans as an empty threat to level the world. I love cycle of violence kind of in narratives and just see how that's going to be explored. So Ymir was a god one minute and worshipped by one people and then called a devil by somebody else. And generations down the line are being prosecuted against, are prejudiced against because of the sins of their ancestors. But that being said, the sins of their ancestors is being told to them through history of the people now in charge who would obviously want to make themselves look like the victims and the heroes. We don't know the truth of the history. And someone puts in good line saying the only truth of humanity is there is no truth, and I'm just thinking the one who wins, the victors will be who decides what is justice kind of thing. I did not see any of this coming. Zeke is Aaron's half-brother. Yeah, they have the same father because he was married to one of the royal family bloodlines and was trying to brainwash his own child into joining the cult that he was in. But then Zeke betrayed his father for the sake of himself and his grandparents and ratted him out to the military police people of that world. And your punishment is to be turned into a shifter and thrown onto the island of paradise where our three walls are. Why you're giving your enemy more power, I don't know, unless they view being turned into the shifter as this ultimate penalty and punishment. Because only, I guess, 7 of them can be a shifter Titan that regains their humanity. Now, Aaron got memories, or more memories, when he touched Historia, and he realized when he touched the Titan who killed his mother was Diana, his father's first wife, and a member of the royal family. She ate her husband's second wife. That's just tragic right there. But when he touched her, that's when he got the power to control other Titans. So it's when he thought when he touched a Titan who has the royal bloodline. And he was worried that they would end up doing something to Historia to get further control of that. So he kept that knowledge to himself. But when he touched Historia, and she wasn't a Titan, obviously, he's got even more memories of his father pleading for the king to stop the Titans at the wall, or else his wife and child would be eaten. And I'm assuming he was talking about Aaron and his mother when he said Titans at the wall. But what if he was talking about his first wife and son? I have to give that more thought. But point being, he wants to protect his stories. Like, I'll give my own life for the people to get rid of all these titans, but I'm not risking Historia, and I love that because I love her. I still don't like Aaron very much, but if he's willing to protect Historia, I'm warming up on him a little. Hitch, Marlowe, and Annie's friend, I love her so much, and I feel like her story's over, and she's barely had one, but I really, really, really like her, and I hope she comes up again. I'm really hoping she's in season 4. I'm liking the fact that beyond this wall, they thought there would be freedom at the sea, but beyond the sea where they thought there was freedom is just their people behind another wall. And I'm excited to see what this happens, because there's no good guys, there's no bad guys. There's just people from ancestors from a conflict they know nothing about, and history is skewed, and too much is going on. They can't just shake hands and be friends. It's going to come to conflict. So their enemies is the entirety of the world. And that's wonderful. I didn't even mention possible time travel, time interference, because Aaron's dad is on the wall about to be turned and kicked over for plotting against the government. And Aaron Kruger, who may or may not be a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, interrupting Cat, turns him into the Attack Titan, because he was the original Attack Titan. But then he starts talking about, if you don't do this, if you don't find someone to love beyond the wall, if you don't get the Founder Titan, if you don't have a child, mistakes will be continued to be repeated. How will you save Mikasa and ARMIN? And he's like, Mikasa and ARMIN, who are they? And he's like, I don't know. Whose memories are these? So Aaron from the future, via that time point, has memories sent back to a former Attack Titan, possibly himself grown up and sent into the past, I don't know, to give his father instructions on how to get the events to play out, but maybe make different things because mistakes are being repeated? I don't know. He's talking about ARMIN and Mikasa, and it gotta be some kind of, either sending memories back. If you can see memories of the past, you can send your own memories to the past because everything is connected. I'm excited. I'm very excited. All right, wrapping up my spoiler thoughts. I love this very much. I had a wonderful time. Now, clearly, my favorite moment is probably going to be the choice between who to save, ARMIN or Erwin, and Levi having to make that choice. Mikasa and Aaron fighting for, like, ARMIN's right to live, I guess, to save him, and them willing to betray their superiors to go against them, getting themselves locked in jail because of it, because they're always doing something like that. I was full on raised, like, take it by force. Levi's tired. He just fought a zillion titans, fought the beast titan, been running back to the wall. He's tired. You could probably take him in this particular second. Given a chance to catch his breath, though, no, he'll take you out. But I was full on willing for them to steal that syringe, give it to ARMIN, have him eat Bert, and go on the run. Fully ready for that to be the option of what they would do to save their friend. So I'm very happy that Levi recognized that ARMIN was the choice to save, but not that it was the choice best for humanity. I do think everyone still agrees that Erwin would have been the best one to survive to save humanity for his mind for whatever reason. I'm still saying ARMIN has proven to be a more tactile mind for the military, but that's besides the point. To let him die, to let him rest, to not bring Erwin back into this hellscape, to ask him to continue to be a monster for the sake of humanity, just let him rest. That was beautiful, and for Levi to recognize that and giving his friend peace, great moment. I think he had red hair. I don't know. The guy who survived the massacre that was the Beast Titans attack and Erwin leading the charge. Him saying that Erwin is the devil and only evil can prevail against these Titans and need to fight back, so that's why he should survive. And blaming ARMIN for his being alive and Erwin being dead and people still having to make those choices. No, love his inclusion. I want to see what's going to happen with him, or is he falling up? Did he serve his purpose, or is he coming back? Hitch and Marlowe are still two of my favorite, not so much Marlowe, but Hitch specifically, Annie's friend, probably one of my favorite characters, and she has such little screen time. She, introduced as this like spoiled brat looking for an easy life, getting the harsh reality when their district was completely obliterated in that fight with Annie and Aaron, then believing that her roommate slash friend slash co-worker had been killed in that attack as they've never found her body, only to realize that she was the Titan that attacked them, not understanding what this could mean, and now her other good friend who was definitely in love with her, Marlowe, has now died with doing the honorable thing of fighting with the scouts for what is right for humanity, and now she is left behind. I'm praying we're not done with her story. It feels like a conclusion. It feels like she was walking away from everything, but I'm praying she comes back and has a role as well, because I really, really like her. Reiner is still alive. I thought for sure he was... Nope, but he's alive, and I don't normally like those dual personality, split personality kind of characters. It feels really tropey. I'm not a fan of it. It's too convenient kind of thing. But for whatever reason, it is working so well for me with his character, and I want to see if he'll end up betraying the Warriors for our side, if he'll stick with the Warriors and betray our team. I just want more time with him and his crazy thought process, because he is all in for whatever personality has taken over. He's definitely on the Warriors team, but then to spend so much time with the Scouts and to be responsible for the death and suffering of so many people, it's weighing so much on his heart and soul, and I just want to see what becomes of him. Also, what happens when he realizes that Bert died protecting him, saving him, and now ARMIN has his powers? I want to see the follow to that. I know I said I didn't care in my wrap-up about Bert not being able to see Annie, but it was really, really sweet. All the moments throughout the series where he's talking about her, wanting to save her, wanting to impress her. He got so angry at the thought of her being tortured. They were using... the unknown of what was happening to her against him, and him dying, screaming her name, knowing that he'll never know what happened to her, never see her again, never confess his feelings for her. That was sad. It was sad, but I was too happy that ARMIN was okay, but that was a good moment to include as well. I don't know how I skipped over it during like my watching of the series when I was filming myself watching it. I'm pretty sure I must have just been in shock, because Aaron's dad's little sister was eaten by dogs for no reason. They left the walls that they're all trapped inside and she just wanted to see the blimp. That's all she wanted to do, is see the blimp. And that police officer guy taking her away while her brother is getting beat up. And then for no reason, then I'm pretty sure he just wanted to feed the dogs, test the dogs' brutality kind of thing. No, just fed her to the dogs. It's a single scene clip of a flashback, and I'm just like, oh God, that like, you don't see these people as human. They see them as monsters. And that leads into the history. And if you give me a single second of cycles of violence, that is probably my favorite thing in literature. And to have this group, this religious order, who created or got control of the Titans, used it to suppress this other group of the... starts with M. Okay, so the Eldians were conquering over the Marley people, and then Marley somehow got control of the Titans and to reclaim their land that had been taken, and the genocide that had been happening to their people, they're now enacting on the people who were oppressing them, the Eldia, something like that, group, and now they're in, you can only call it a concentration camp, but they're still using them because, like, their bloodline is needed to become a Titan shifter, or just a Titan in general, and there's an outside threat as technology's increasing, and they want the Titan power to stay in their level of superiority, I guess. So they're manipulating through propaganda the Eldian people to fight for them, so that's who the warriors are. And oh my God, it's just all this back and forth, and like they're both in the wrong. So, but they're also now so many generations removed that they're both in the right. It's just one act of violence led to another act of violence, which resulted in people having violence thrown back at them. And it's to a point that it's cycled around so many times. They're just angry at each other's history, their name, their ancestors, and they can't just like stop this fighting, stop this war. The first king probably had the right notions, just like, I recognize that things are getting out of hand. I recognize the brutality that was enacted on your people, but now you're enacting brutality on my people. So we're just going to leave. We're going to call it quits. We're going to go off to our own little island. Cue that Futurama quote about strippers, and build our walls and just isolate ourselves from the world, live in peace, and threaten to destroy all you guys. Empty threats about unleashing the Titans on the world and flattening you all. But then I still don't get, unless it's like the absolute worst thing that they can do, is to punish those by turning them into what they fear and what they hate most, the Titans, and unleashing them to throw them at those walls, hoping that one day it'll be destroyed. And they're trying to get that founder Titan, as there's 9 different types of Titans that can regain their human Titan shifter form things. I just really like cycles of violence, okay? Because there's no right and wrong. There's just the ones who are in the wrong at the moment. And how people are going to respond to this. Because now Eren is staring out at the sea, what represented his hope and freedom. They thought when they got to the sea, they would have finally achieved their dream. They would have wiped out the Titans. They would have their freedom. This was their end goal. They wanted to get to the sea. And now that they got to the sea, they're like, no, we're not free yet. There are enemies over there across the world that want us dead. So we have to continue fighting them. It never ends. And it's, oh my God, it's a beautiful story. It's heartbreaking. It's tragic. And I can't wait to see what happens next. I think that's all I got. Again, we now have so many of the answers to the mystery of the world, so now it's just how the characters are going to respond after learning all this. Protect Historia, protect ARMIN, protect Levi, hange, Potato Girl, Sasha, Sarah, it starts with an S, Potato Girl, love her, love all them. Rest of you, kind of on your own for me, but I hope you all make it. And I'm going to go watch season 4 and see what happens. All right, talk to you later. Bye.